Good morning. This is M. Swamidas working as Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Mallarity Engineering College Autonomous, Hyderabad, India. Today I am going to give a presentation on fundamentals of Python programming. Introduction to Python. Python, it is an open source free language used in the web programming and used in the data science applications, artificial intelligence and many more scientific applications. Python, it is mostly used to develop the web programming and data science analysis, and it's also used for artificial intelligence and scientific applications. Programmers to solve the problems, and Python, it is a general purpose program language for scripting rules. Python programming is it's a scripting, and we it is write down a script and give the script to the system, and immediately you will interactively display the output to corresponding script. It's called what interactive scripting rule, and it is an interpreted language, and Python is executed source and compiled. The result compilation is expected in the interactive shell itself. Python consisting of a sequence instruction to perform a specific task. The program and script, it is a code written in scripting language is which can control the application is called what script. So it's a good example. Python style, it is a very concise, and it is a powerful and unobtrusive object system, and every value is an object, powerful collection of iterations dynamically typed. That means the type declaration while executing automatically, it is taking the data type of the variable, and Java statically typed, and variables are referring as an object, method signature enforcing, and Python variables are existed and assigned to a variable of type and main. This is so the brief history of the Python is Python invented in Netherlands early 1990 by Guido van Rossum is the name of the Python after uh, in the 1990 it called Monty Python. It is an open source at the beginning, and considered as a scripting and much more scalable object oriented functional from beginning, and used for Google from beginning and increasing popular. Python is an experiment how much freedom programmers need to by Guido van Rossum, and the the Python users use the Python. It is an object-oriented features, and it supports the polymorphism, and it supports operation overloading, multiple inheritance, and indentation. It creates a Python, and it is an open source free accessible. It's called what Python, and Python, it is a powerful dynamically typed, and it has built-in tools, and various much has library utility functions and third-party utilities like NumPy, numeric and SciPy, automatic memory management, and it is a portable which Python runs once it will be used by many systems. It is a compatible Python interpreter is installed, and Python will run exactly the same irrespective of the platform. Python, it is a multi-purpose used in the web programming and GUI and scripting. It's an object-oriented features and interpreted strongly and dynamically typed, and focus on the readability and productivity. Python, it is a programming language used for client server web-based applications. Python features are the no compilation or linking, and there will be, it is an interpreted programming language, rapid development style. Quickly you can design and develop the applications based on the specifications and the requirements, and no type declarations, dynamically typed, simple, shorter and more flexible. It has automatic memory management, garbage collection, unreferenced variables are garbage collected, and it is a high level data type and operations, fast development and object oriented features. programming, and code is structuring and reusing like C++ and mixed language systems, and which has classes, modules, exceptions, and multi-threading concepts. Class is a collection of similar type of objects, and module it is object. The task is divided into various modules, and exceptions. If there is an error in the code, how to handle those exceptions, and multi-threading, creating a program with multi-threading applications, and Python it is mixed, and Python is handling uh, it is easy and fast, linking very fast and compiled and interpreted intensive programs, and easy to use, no intermediate compiler, and Python automatically it generates a bytecode. Bytecode it can be executed anywhere, and it is easy to learn because of its syntax, and Python is who uses the Python? Python used by most of the MNC companies like Google search engine. It uses the Python to develop the applications, and portable batch systems, scheduling. So the task is by the scheduler, how the works, how the processes are executed, the order in which the processes are executed in the scheduler. So scheduler keeps track of how the process being executed by the CPU in the order in which they arrive, and the same order it will be executed. Various kind of the scheduling algorithms available, and so batch as single process, as a batch process, how it will be executed. And it's also used in the National Aeronautic and Space Administrative. US federal government is responsible for creating a civilian space programs developed by Python, and the Library Congress, it is a research library. Officially it is in the United States Congress. It's a National Library of United States, and all application programs are designed and developed by using Python. Installing the Python, you can install the Python in the Mac OS, Linux, and Windows operating systems, and from the latest IDE version and that recent version 3.8.1, and you can go to the website where https www.python.org downloads, and after installing the Python, you in the menu it will go, you will get a Python the version number, and you can select the command prompt to use the Python. Python even nowadays it is used for developing the products in various companies, and Google makes a extensive Python search systems employing for Python creator, and it's also used in various companies like Intel and Cisco company, Hewlett Packard, HP, and Seagate, and Qualcomm and IBM use for hardware testing, and ESRI uses Python end user tool. It's a popular GIS mapping product, and it's also used in YouTube video sharing, largely written in the Python only. And system programming, designing and developing the applications in the system programming, graphical user interface programs, GUI programs, internet scripting, graphical user interface programs, menus creation, and system programming, the assembly language programs, and internet scripting. Scripting is web-based applications and components integration. One component is integrated with another component in a system acceptance testing, meeting the requirements of end user, and database programming, and gaming, children's playing the games also developed by Python, and some images or image enhancement and image recognitions, and XML extension markup language, and robot, and many more applications are designed and developed by using Python. So example, there will be a program with Python indentation which has a block, right, and it is a indentation. The first variable it creates a variable, and Python is assignment is equal to, and comparison is double equal to, and it uses the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, modular division, and it is a special character plus for concatenation, and percentage string it is like C plus with logical operators and or not, and the printf it is a print it is a command used for printing the output. So here this is a simple program for printing the information. X is equal to 34.23, it is a comment, and y is equal to hello, and z is equal to this, and if x or y hello, then x is x plus y equal to 1. So print this it will be printed. So that Python code execution, it is running the Python code. You develop a code with Python name of the file with extension with py. It is a Python code, and it is interpreted with the Python compiler and interpreter, and it generates the byte code m.pyc, and with the help of Python virtual machine, it generates the byte code. And byte code, so Python structure is modules. Modules, it is a collection of source files with C extensions which are used in the program by importing the package name and reloading the functionalities into the program, and it uses the statements, control flow, for loop, while loop, and creating the objects indentation, and by left parenthesis and right parenthesis curly braces objects are created, and everything is treated as an object, automatically reclaiming whoever the object is no longer needed, it will be garbage collected. And indentation, and most of don't care indentations, and we use if bar this else, right? And hello world program in the Python, if you write hello world, it will be printed. And Windows is open IDE, and Python programs are comprised of modules, and modules are certain statements, and statements contain the expressions, and expressions can create process objects. So this Python, it is an interpreted language. Here in the command prompt 3 plus 7, it will give you a 10. 3 is less than 5, it is true only. It will give print me means it will print to me means it will print, right? Python, it is interpreted, provides interactive environment play with the language, and results expressions are printed in the same screen itself shell. And printf statement, it's like a print statement is like a printf statement in the C programming language, which prints the output of the information. And comma documentation, and hash starts with a line. And variable, it is a data name to store the data value. It is referencing the name of the object, and the type, everything in the Python, it's like an object, right? Everything, it is an object. Data type, it is a property that the object, not a variable, right? So basic operations, assignment, numbers and integer, float, complex and strings. So this is a Python 2.6.1, right? This is a Python tutorial. Python, it is easy to learn and efficient, and it has structures, and it is a dynamically typed. It is has a interpreter and library functions available in the Python. And Python, it is new functions and data types implemented in the C and C++ language. Python is also suitable for extensions of the customizable applications used in various kind of applications. And features of Python, it helps for Python interpreter developing the solutions. And this is the documentation. And Python, this is 2.6, it is a release in the year 2009. And Python, it is a high level language, and it is an open source community driven, and standard distribution. It includes many more modules, and dynamically typed. Source is compiled and just in time, and similar to Perl and Ruby, PCL and Ruby. Python, it is true, and it is considerably developers to use the Python programming language since 1999, and it's also an interface with component object model, and by the Windows component object model, which has interfaces and open source GIS toolsets. And visual, it's not a Visual Basic, it is, if you press a toolbar in the visual button, it will be displayed. And Python can be run as a command with ArcMap or ArcCatalog, and GIS engine, and rapid prototype and easy authoring. And Python interfaces are IDE, and it is a cross-platform Python development environment. Python, when it is an interface, Python and Python shell, it is an interactive command to display the command and its output. And IDE environment, integrated development environment, helps the Python so executing and debugging and auto indenting interactive shells. Here this is a command line and string, it is a string class circle, and This is a keyword and this is an output, right? Commands and strings. So Python example hello world. This is a hello world. It will be printed in the IDE itself, and Python is just it's a printing. It is an object oriented, and this string methods assigning to a variable string methods HW. It is a string HW. Title means it will display the title case, and HW upper means it will display the capital numbers, and is it a digit or not, is it a lowercase or not. It will be string matching. Strings or variables remain same, and hw is equal to hw upper, it's equal to hello world in the uppercase letters, and lists are the variables. One is an array creating a list variable 1 2 3, and banana tuples is a immutable sets is called what tuples. Dictionaries is associated with arrays, and hash list is called what? Dictionaries. List is a stack of cards in which the information is written. The information place you modify the order. Methods return string subset to modify and removing the components, and you can step list of methods. Variable adding the list variable n is equal to object with n object, and variable dot append it appends the object at the end of the list. Removing the list variable n is equal to open curly braces, so this mm, and variable dot remove n, it removes the card from n, and variable dot flop means it moves n from returns its value, and this is an arc toolbox which creating the list layer inputs attributes to match and attributes of objects, and tuple it is a iteratable array, and immutable once it's created, it cannot be changed, is called what tuple. And to add and remove the, and examples of the tuples are country names and land use codes, and order set of functions are represented by the tuples. So dictionary, it is a set of key value pairs is called what dictionary, which allows descriptive names order in the list. Key are ordered and useless explicitly stored. Keys are unique. So variable item is equal to apple, and variable item is equal to banana. Variable item equal just to banana. Indentation and blocks. Python use white spaces and indentations denote block of code and line of code at the end colon, and indentation in the same level, and code block and remove, and you want to conditional branching if and else if variable is equal to n, and else if additional condition, and so looping which allows a block of set of statements repeated for a specific number of times is called what loops. A is equal to this array list x in a, print x length and result. It will print cat length is 3 and windows length is 6, and demonstrate length is 12. Loop for we could use loop for geoprocessing the task in each layer of the list. We could get the features of loop in each by checking its attributes and sequence order of the list if we are using for loop, and sure that to modify the list while looping. Module or additional features functionality specific function, and Python comes with many useful modules. So modules are accessed using import. Modules can have subset of functions, and modules are addressed with module name and function name. So the file, it is a manipulated, and with a collection of information is called what file. Files are read mode, write mode, and append mode. So the read mode, the files are opened with the open function with the file name which is enclosed in the double quoting, and files has a new methods file print f dot read line means it will print the file, and files are read or write mode. The file f is equal to output of the text, it is a file with write mode, and important output, and so error capturing, checking the assignment errors in the expression statements, try catch try and except. So try if there is any exceptions in the code by try and except. Wherever there is an exception, write down in the try code. Except means how to handle the exception is called by except code, right? So these features of the Python are easy and easy to understand, and the features of the Python including statements and all the things and expressive. It is each thing, it is an expressive way that the library functions and methods, and it is generates the bytecode and interpreted, and it is an open source. Freely it is available, the Python, in various operating systems, Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. It is a high level programming language, and it is used for the complex application programs. Even some of the code is written C and C++, and it is a portable, convenient to execute the bytecode in any environment, and it has object oriented principles and object oriented principles like polymorphism, inheritance. Object is in many forms, and inheritance of acquiring the property of parent to child is called what? Inheritance. And reusability, like object oriented principles, and extensible, it can be extended, and it is embedded. You can write down code in the system device driver, and the code is embedded and interpreted. It generates the byte code, and large, it has a large standard library which provides much functions in order to just import the functionality and use the functions in the code itself. And it's also used for GUI programming, graphical user interface programming, and it's a by dynamically typed objects. This is the Python, right? Python, it is an interpreted high level programming language having these features, right? Thank you.